Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm going to be breaking down our next matchup for UFC Rio. In this one, we have Lucas Rocha taking on Stewart Nicoll. Rocha is 17-2 as professional, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, while Stewart Nicoll is 8-1 as a professional, and as well 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Now, both are pretty much the same in where they're at right now. Both have suffered a loss in their UFC debut and are looking to get back on the right track. For Rocha, he got subbed out by Clayton Carpenter, while Nicoll was subbed out against Jesus Aguilar. Now, I know Nicoll was supposed to fight at UFC 312 in this February, but had to pull out. So this will be his first time back since August of last year. As for Rocha, this is actually this has been a year now since he lost to Clayton Carpenter. Yeah, last October. So both of these guys haven't been exactly very active, if either in trying to get their first UFC win. But they're here now, so let's see what they got. For Rocha, he is more so a striker. He can do a bit of everything, but his best attribute, I would say, is his Brazilian Muay Thai. And most of that style revolves around to ultra aggression, especially in close quarters where they can unleash their knees and elbows. But he's got some good long-range weapons like his jab, and calf kick. But I also said before, he is pretty well-rounded. He has a good plethora of wins via both knockout and submission, not just decision. So he is a well-rounded threat. As for Stewart Nicoll, he's a bit of the opposite. Most of his wins come via submission. He's actually a purple belt in jiu-jitsu and has won some competitions in Australia. And while he got choked out by Jesus Aguilar, Jesus Aguilar's guillotine is just weird. It really works, even though and sometimes it doesn't. But overall, Stewart Nicoll was winning most of the grappling exchanges in that fight before he just made a careless mistake and left his neck out open too long. Oh boy, it's crazy to think this is like the 4th fight I'm covering on this card now, and this is the 3rd fight where both fighters are coming off a loss. It's kind of weird how many times this happened so far on this card. But nevertheless, the tricky part about this is this is the right fight for both guys. Someone who hasn't won in the UFC yet and who gave that first UFC win. This is the right step in the direction. The problem is with this type of fight, it's so close and feels not competitive is not the word, but they're at just the right skill level where they're neck and neck with each other until they get into the cage and it seems one guy is better than the other. The odds kind of reflected -105 for Rocha, -120 for Nicoll. It's essentially a pick'em. I mean, Nicoll is slightly the favorite, and with good reason. I like his grappling in this in comparison to Rocha. Now, it should be important to note that the loss to Clayton Carpenter was the first submission loss of Rocha's career. So he's shown to have pretty good submission defense throughout most of the time in the LFA and whatnot. Does it work for Nick? Now, does that submission defense hold up against Nicoll? I'm not too sure. Nicoll has pretty good submissions as most of his game revolves around his grappling. Don't mind my kitty cat here. But at the same time, he's also pretty good at just, riding out position and maintaining control and just winning off points. So, take it, hit or miss when it comes to how effective Nicoll's grappling could work. Because I could see Rocha giving him problems on the feet. He is going to be the better striker. But then again, I see, like I said, Nicoll is the better overall grappler of the two. Man, it's so tough to really dive into who I think is going to win. But if I had to make my prediction, I think I'm going to lean towards Stewart Nicoll. My biggest reason is I think his ability to control fights with his position is going to be much better than Rocha. I think he's going to be able to starve off minutes off the clock by just having good top pressure, positional control, good back takes. Just in general, just be the better positional grappler. Not just hunting for submissions, but in general, properly securing control, getting the hooks in, grabbing the far side wrist. just a classic grappler technique to help maintain control. That's what I see Nicoll kind of doing to Rocha. Now, while it's on the feet, I kind of see Rocha more or less picking apart Stewart Nicoll and can probably even sense a finish if it stays on the feet for too long. But when this fight hits the ground, I think it really comes down to Rocha's get-up game. And so far what we've seen with a high-level grappler like, say, Clayton Carpenter, he gets choked unconscious. Now, is Stewart Nicoll to the level of Clayton Carpenter? I'm not too sure. I think Clayton Carpenter is a better fighter than Stewart Nicoll. But in terms of the grappling, we'll see. I think Stewart Nicoll's grappling is at least elite enough that I believe he can take down and submit Lucas Rocha, if not win the decision. So my official prediction, I'm going to go with Stewart Nicoll, and I think he's going to get the decision. I know, I've been saying that Stewart Nicoll's submission game is good, but considering Rocha's only ever been submitted once, and I think Clayton Carpenter is still the better fighter than both of these two, I just don't know if Nicoll is going to be able to sew the needle, if you will, and actually get the finish. But I can't see him winning a decision by banking on more control time. Granted, it's hard, in Brazil. I don't want to say, biased judges, but you gotta get where I'm leaning at. But still, I think if the fight plays out how I think it will, I believe Stewart Nicoll is going to win the decision. But with that being said, that's been my breakdown of this matchup. If you like the video, comment and subscribe. Next up, we have Irene Aleskeva versus Beatrice Mesquita. But with that being said, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. Thank you all for listening. Take care.